Central Kentucky's real estate talk show with a little bit of Lexington. From Studio 1A, this is episode number 4 of Live, Love, Lex. My name is Rick Pannell, and this is Whitney Pannell.
And we are realtors with Keller Williams Greater Lexington. This week we're going to talk about food. We're going to talk about being a buyer in today's market.
And we've kind of got a surprise guest, right?
Surprise guest.
This guy's going to tell us everything you need to know about the value of your home.
And at the end, Rick's worthless knowledge.
Hey, now that's got to be the part everybody's waiting for. So right now, as we know, Whitney is a foodie. Every week we go out and eat all the time. I mean, that is one of our things. We love to go out, eat, whatever it is, a restaurant in town, out of town. We'll drive wherever it takes to get a good bite to eat. And Whitney, the foodie that she is going to tell us where we went today.
We went to, and Rick was this was a very anticipated opening, World of Beer at the Summit. They have a magnificent pretzel as big as your head, a German pretzel, right here at the Summit. So roll the clip. We are here tonight at the World of Beer in the Summit, and I've got the Bavarian pretzel with the pretzel as big as your head.
Yep.
And it's the best pretzel in town.
Don't forget.
And it's crunchy on the outside.
And soft on the inside.
Soft on the inside. You've got beer cheese to dip it in.
Yum.
Yo, don't eat.
right.
Welcome back to the show. This afternoon in our studio, we have a guest that I know everyone's going to want to listen to what he has to say. We're honored to have David O'Neill from the Fayette PVA. David, thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. Thank you.
First of all, I want to say, and I want to ask, I'm sure our viewers are curious, what exactly is the role of the Fayette PVA?
Well, every county has a PVA, and it stands for Property Valuation Administrator, and it's my job to assess the fair cash value of every piece of property in the county, and then that's the basis upon which you pay your property taxes.
Wow, that's interesting. Now, does every county in Kentucky have a PVA?
Every county in Kentucky has a PVA, and just about every jurisdiction in the country has some version of it. Some places they're known as the property assessor. Some places refer to it as tax commissioner. Used to be tax commissioner in Kentucky, as a matter of fact.
Gotcha. So how do you, as a whole, determine property values in the Lexington area?
Well, there are 3 generally accepted methods for determining the value of properties. There's the cost approach, which is generally only an acceptable method for new construction, and that's how much did the land cost, how much did the materials and the labor cost to build the improvement, and that gets you to a cost valuation. The other is an income approach, and that's generally only in commercial property. The easiest to assess with income approach is something like an apartment building.
So where income's coming in,
very specific rent rolls, you know exactly what it is, you deduct a certain amount for expenses, you allow the property owner a certain amount for a return on investment, and that gets you to your value. But what we use for nearly all residential property is comparable sales approach. Just like you use in real estate, when you're listing a property and you want to know how much to list it for, you go find comparable sales, and that's how you get to the price. And that's the same thing we do. We have a fairly sophisticated computer software system. It's called a CAMA system. It stands for Computer Aided Mass Assessing, and it helps us locate the 5 most comparable sales in that neighborhood, and then make adjustments for things like differences in square footage and number of bathrooms, does it have a basement or not.
And weren't you saying that we, Fayette County, won an award with that software?
Well, we've got, not with the software, but with, when I reassess somebody's property, I'm required to notify them by mail of the new assessment. And so we've redesigned our assessment notices.
Oh, I see.
So when you get reassessed, you get a notice from me. We shoot for April 15th every year, so it's very timely that we're doing this, because we're just a couple of weeks away from sending those in the mail. And we've redesigned those notices, and we are now including the 5 comparable sales that we use to arrive at that
that's
value.
A great idea.
We're listing those on the assessment notices, so then when folks get it in the mail, they can go to our website, FayettePVA.com. If you're not familiar with it, you will want to be. It's a fantastic free resource where you can look up every property in the county.
It is a great site.
Right, see the sales history, see the valuation history, characteristics. You can see a recent picture, and you can also see the PDF version of this new assessment notice.
Oh, really? Can only the homeowner see that?
No,
or
anyone can see
it?
it. Anybody can see it.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, I know one of the questions that our viewers, and everybody's going to want to know this question, Can you contest the
You,
value?
you can, and that's part of this period of time that we're moving into right now. So you'll get your notice in the mail sometime around April 15th, and that kicks off this period of time that we refer to as open inspection.
Okay.
And that's when any property owner can come in and conference with us on the assessment of their property if they don't think we got it right. So you get the assessment notice in the mail from me. It also will include a pamphlet explaining how to read the new notice and what you need to do if you think you want to appeal it or have a conference with us. Our phone number is listed 5 times, so we really mean it. If you don't think we got it right.
Well, that's great.
And the reason it's so important is there's 111,000 parcels of property.
I was going to ask you, are you just the one guy down
Yeah,
there?
just me down there with my pencil and my abacus. But there's 111,000 pieces of property in Fayette County. There's only 23 of us in the PVA office, so
Oh.
we can't
Do the math.
we can't possibly know everything about every piece of property, right? We don't do full-blown appraisals. We essentially do windshield inspections, drive-bys.
Nothing.
And we're well-trained, well-educated. We have good computer systems. We have good technology, but we can't know everything about every piece of property. So when you get the assessment notice, if you don't think that it's right, but keep in mind that we are in a very volatile real estate market right now. Property values are going up.
I think that's important to know,
dramatically.
yes.
Yes.
Since we've come out of the recession, median sale price is up about 25% on average.
Wow,
It's
good for Lexington.
It's
Yeah.
increasing between 3 and 5% per year. So some of you are going to be shocked when you open the assessment notice, but
Sure.
flip it over on the back. We also include a sales map of the entire neighborhood. We fit the.
So it's very informative also.
We've tried to provide everybody with as much information as we have that we used to arrive at that value.
Taking the guesswork out.
Right, and I think that most people want to know. They want to know that they're being treated fairly, right?
Sure.
But they also want to know that we use some logic. We didn't just pull this number out of the air.
Sure, exactly.
And we don't pull numbers out of the air.
Well, we are thankful to have David here on our show today. I hope he's answered some questions you all, the viewers, may have. So thank you again, and have a great week.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show. This is one of my favorite segments. It's Whitney's Tip of the Week.
My tip this week is for buyers, and it is a very competitive market for buyers right now. If you pull up to a house and there are 4 or 5 other couples waiting to come in, you have got to listen to your agent and make a full price offer or an offer at least over asking price if you really want to get that house.
Be prepared. Bring your A game, it sounds like.
Yes, bring your A game. Now's not the time to come in and start, negotiating and asking well under asking for a property that's very hot and just hit the market and has people lined up. It is time to bring your A game and make a full price or over asking price offer.
And I'm guessing if you drive up and you see the cars lined up, which I saw that twice this week,
Oh,
we went
yeah.
up to a property and there were cars lined up, so you know there's a demand, that's the time you better start thinking
Yes.
what we got to do to get this house.
And I have seen it so many times before. First-time home buyers who I love working with haven't always listened to me and have come in and offered well less than asking, and they've missed out. So I usually advise just to make your best offer. If they make your best, and this is my best offer, Whitney, this is all we can do, then that's great. And if that doesn't get it, then you've left nothing on the table and shouldn't have any regrets.
And I'm guessing you don't play games and you work towards that best offer. You're going to have to make it right out of the gate.
Yes, and sometimes, seriously, we'll come in at 9 o'clock and you have 1 hour to decide if you want that house or not.
Wow.
If you say, well, we're going to sleepy on it, it's sold. So in this market right now,
Make a move and make a move quick.
make your best offer. So that's my tip.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Our last segment today is Rick's Worthless Knowledge. Tip, trivia, we've all been waiting for it. I know on your edge of your seat. Rick, what have you got for us today?
Hey now, this I think the last few have been good, but this is better. This one comes each week, we get a little better and better. So I'm going to start off with this. Are you ready? In 1893, 2 sisters from Louisville, Kentucky created the song Happy Birthday to You. Happy.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
How cool is that?
That's
And that song has been sung probably more than any song ever in the history of the world, right? So Happy Birthday to You in 1893 was created from 2 ladies from Louisville, Kentucky.
That's great. And thank you all for tuning in. We will see you week after next. Have a great spring break. And tune in next time for Live, Love, Lex.